Good evening. I want to sincerely thank the Alumni Association for City College of New York for honoring me with the John H. Finley Award, and I deeply regret not being present in person. I've been in public life, working in government, and for one of the oldest charities in America for over 50 years. Retirement is not yet in the cards for me, particularly in these fraught times in the city and the nation, with much that was fought for by prior generations at risk. And of course, my wife says I drive her crazy when I stay home for even a couple of days. The organization I lead, the Community Service Society of New York, works to bring down socioeconomic barriers that stand in the way of our city being a place where New Yorkers of all economic levels have an opportunity to live in safe and decent housing, access health care that is affordable and equitable, where workers are paid a living wage, and where New Yorkers with criminal histories who have paid their debt to society and served their sentences are not denied the chance to work, provide for their families, and move ahead economically. When I think of City College, I think of Harlem. Both are near and dear to my heart, and that's coming from a guy who grew up in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. City College was established to provide children of immigrants and the poor with access to free higher education at a time when private higher education institutions excluded them. When it admitted its first class in 1849, it was called the Free Academy of the City of New York, attended by only white men. The poor man's Harvard, as it was known. Of course, it would take many, many decades after its founding before City College would evolve into the institution it is today, serving a diversity of students. Just as the civil rights movement of the 1960s was a period of reckoning in our nation, the 1969 student takeover of the City College campus for 2 weeks was a watershed moment in the institution's evolution. It ushered in open admissions and a remaking of the university into one of the most diverse in the city and the nation. At the time of the takeover, African Americans and Latinos made up only 9% of the student body, while they made up 40% of the city's high school graduates. Today, more than 2/3 of City College's undergraduate students are of color. As City College continues its 175-year history of preparing its students to tackle critical challenges facing our communities, cities, and nation, it is doing so behind the strength of innovative academic programs, such as the Charles B. Rangel Infrastructure Workforce Initiative, the STEM Institute, and the recently created Gaming Pathways program that will provide the first public option for those interested in careers in the digital gaming industry. Let me close by drawing a parallel between what the City College of New York has meant to the thousands and thousands of young people, many from poor households, who were first-generation college students and who entered its doors thirsting for knowledge and a chance for an education to build a life and future on, with that of a current migrant crisis that is gripping our city. Albert Einstein famously said, "In the midst of every crisis lies great opportunity." The migrant crisis is an opportunity for New York to show the world the values that we have. The Community Service Society was formed in 1939 by the merger of two venerable social service agencies, the New York Association for the Improvement of the Condition of the Poor and the Charity Organization Society. These charities and others helped the wave of Irish, Polish, Italian, and Eastern European Jewish immigrants arriving in New York in the 1950s, fleeing persecution and poverty and prejudice. They were joined by my own grandparents fleeing the lack of opportunity for people of color in the Caribbean. These organizations are not unlike the wide array of not-for-profit organizations today that are stepping up to provide critical services to the 113,000 migrants and their families as they try to get used to life in New York. New York's construction industry, restaurant and food service industries, and home health care sectors need new workers. We can train this population to fill those jobs, and in doing so, allow them to become financially independent and a part of the city's economic recovery. A critical first step for them, their children, and grandchildren in building a better future. New York's immigration history goes back 400 years. Immigrants then and now came to New York for the same reason, a better life, and they are the ones who made New York City great. Thank you.